welcome to Editing with My Wife, now with more kids. I'm here with, I'm the Hooded Philosopher. Sorry, if you didn't know, the person that does this is the Hooded Philosopher, and I'm here with Cheesy Loops. Cheesy Loops, what kind of podcast are we doing here?
We're a podcast that doesn't promote illicit drugs.
Absolutely. We do not ask. We ask, please, don't use illegal substances. It's a pretty easy ask, I think. Now we are currently on chapter 22. Oh, I need to...
You need the pokey, not the chapter 22.
It's not
drugs.
The end should be capitalized too. Anyway, that being said, 2 chapters ago in the Eye of the Storm, Renner lost his hand for all of eternity. Never had it even. And they took a trip up to the top with Hannah and her medal and kind of saw Zig from an overhead view and got a real scene of it from top. And you even get to see the top of the ship. And then they jump off and they do a lot of jumping off of the platform. Renner aims for the lava. And and then they find the next problem. And the next problem is that he set up a trap for them. They have to go somewhere specific and do something specific, and of course he did it knowing it was supposed to happen. And they figured out that if they grow clones and let the clones go in, they get to keep their family. And so in the next chapter...
Chapter 21 was clones. So while the clones were busy growing, Otto and Hannah decided to look through all his rings. And they discovered that the blue ring was someone who needed their help the most. So Hannah gets to go be an angel and save somebody.
I mean, that's bypassing all the other colors, which were pretty interesting.
Yes, all the other colors, yes.
And you can kind of infer whatever you want from what I'm saying.
And then out pops out a new pair of twins, this time clonified. Go to try to plant the tree, and Renner kind of gets misploded.
Yes. Let's smush more words together. I love it. He got misploded.
He got misploded.
With a Y.
With a Y. Misploded with a Y. And Izzi gets captured, and Infrazig is trying to convince her to call her siblings or winch her siblings. And
she can't. So she just kind of laughs about it.
There's not much else going on there. So eventually Infrazig gives away some of the plot, being irritated by the fact that there's not the thing he wants to happen.
Not for 3 days of torture. Which, I mean, normally I think people would cave after the second day. I would cave after the first minute. Of course, she can't, so Izzi foils him.
Well, she could cave in one way. There was one way she could have caved.
What?
I'm just a clone, dude. Nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah. But since she didn't do that, she was rewarded by him explaining to her that he was in touch with other nations, and Zig was able to stop them from doing the portals. Well, prevent them from spawning a lot of portals.
And we said that Izzi foils the idiot, because that's
kind of how she called him.
She called him an idiot.
Rather aggressively, I think. It was good.
You would think, like, okay, what is going on here? This is not normal. They would have been here by now. Why didn't he think that? He wasn't thinking. Chapter 24. It's not drugs.
Zig looked at the 4 of them, standing around talking about the events. Renner, I need to speak to you privately, Zig asked. Renner walked over to him, commenting, "This is unlike you. What's up?" "Katie has need to speak to you," Zig answered. "Well, take me to her, boss," he said as he appeared with Katie in Otto's old bedroom. It had been used as an office for the vice president in her recent move. Katie was crying, but jumped up to greet him. "What's wrong, Katie cat?" he said, growing. He said, worry growing. He wasn't growing. The worry was. As he walked toward her to give her a hug. She fell into his arms, looking at him with big doe eyes. "I'm pregnant." Renner shouted with joy. "What? I'm going to be a father?" "Yes." Or his eyes filled as he and Katie held each other. "Should we keep this a secret?" Katie asked. "Are you kidding? I want to shout it from a mountaintop for all to hear." he said, smile spreading across his face. In fact, I think I will. She looked deep into his eyes. I'm so happy. I was concerned about raising them with all that's going on. Zig, can you put us up in the forest? Renner said aloud, and then they were standing around the table of bounty. Renner looked back into her big doe eyes. What if we raised them here? Zig, can you... Oh, no. Zig was standing under the tree. Katie looked to him, who nodded empathetically. Nothing would bring me more pleasure than than to witness the growth of the children of Earth. Anything for those whom I hold so dear, Zig said, and then disappeared. Katie and Renner were giggly and excited when the others arrived. Zig told us you have news, Otto said, sitting down in the foliage. Yeah, what happened? Renner get ripped in half again, Izzi said, taking a bite of some nearby fruit. Katie and Renner looked at each other. Katie and Renner looked at each other. Hannah shouted, "You're pregnant?" Izzi spat out some of the fruit. Otto began laughing uproariously. To think I just saw you die, he squeaked out amid the laughs. Katie looked horrified at Izzi, who was smiling, saying, I saw it firsthand. He won't be doing that anymore. They were just clothes, Hannah said, explaining like it happened all the time. Which, I mean, has happened twice now. Clones are a real problem in my life, Renner added. Hannah was sitting next to Katie now. Izzi pushed her brother out of his seat and sat on the other side of Katie. Otto walked over to his brother to give him a congratulatory hug. After that, Otto and his brother walked deeper into the forest together. We will catch up. And you'll be safe up here while we fix things down there, Hannah said. And Renner will have to take a back seat for a while, Izzi added from the other side. Katie looked at them. I'm so happy she'll have such awesome aunts. Are you kidding? Never in the history of mankind will a child have an aunt like us. This had them laughing and talking about other things that happened recently. Otto and Renner found a spot. Here, take this, Otto said, handing half a mushroom to his brother. Drugs, Otto? Really? Renner said, looking at the mushroom. Otto put his half in his mouth and ate it. Nothing made on Zig wants to harm a human. Drugs harm humans. I don't think this is a drug. I think it's courage, and I have some things that are really hard to say. Renner repeated, nothing on Zig wants to harm a human, and then ate the mushroom. The girls and I did this whole thing a while ago, and I think it helps, Otto explained. Now might be the time you need it most. Or I need it most. No, he's talking to Renner. Now might be the time you need it most. Renner laid back on the forest floor and closed his eyes. Otto laid next to him, closing his eyes as well. After a few minutes, Otto spoke. I put on the pink rings and opened the periscope the other day, and it showed me an image of a man living alone on the forest. He was reading a book about a fantasy world. I think he is the love of my life. I look every night. He sleeps alone, but there's a haunted look I see on his beautiful face when he looks in the mirror. Renner was laughing to himself. You're gay? Otto was laughing. Well, I was laughing with him. I have been your whole life. Renner opened his eyes. I think I see what's happening here. Then he let himself laugh a bit before saying, our sister was tortured for 3 days by a nearly divine being because I rushed in first and got destroyed. The pair heard that, then after a few seconds broke out into fits of laughter. Now you're responsible for a brand new life, Otto added. They laughed about this for a while, and then Renner stood up and said, let's go for a walk. Renner and Otto laughed about various other, not intended to be funny things. Eventually, they found the way back to the ladies who were discussing what the baby will eat while it's up here. Hannah saw the boys cover the last... I need to slow down.
Hannah saw the boys cover the last of their stifled giggles, and she saw right through it. Katie, watch this, she said, pointing at the boys. Izzi was tortured for 3 days. Renner and Otto collapsed to the floor in fits of laughter. That's not very funny, Katie said, confused. The boys were foraging in the forest for the wonderful mushrooms, Izzi explained. It makes hard news easier to say, Hannah clarified. They needed to talk. It's late, and I miss sleeping in the canopy. Perhaps I can take my husband and we can rest. Up in these wonderful branches, we can talk together before we sleep for the night. And I've been missing him fiercely, Katie said, getting up, reaching for Renner's hand. The two lovebirds escaped to the trees to be together. Otto went to bed right after. So, a couple of things I have a question about.
Yeah.
How long has it been since the first time Katie came on to Zig?
Well, she was up for a little while when they had the Eye of the Storm.
No, she was up there for 4.
She was... No, it was the last time she was on the ship.
The Eye of the Storm was with...
Like, last chapter.
The Eye of the Storm was when they were going to go do the clone thing.
It was before the clones, yeah.
Yeah,
That was the last time she was up there. She was only up there on accident, I think.
How much time has passed between Katie coming onto Zig and this moment now?
Not enough.
Not enough.
I don't know, maybe she's just caught up in what she's doing down there. And then the pregnancy,
Well, that's
would throw everything out
the
back.
the real question I'm asking this for is the pregnancy. So how much time has passed?
Enough. That could have happened in Vegas.
Still, it doesn't matter.
It was a while ago.
A day
No.
difference.
No, that was kept several days.
That's several days.
Vegas? That was like chapter 4. Here, let's go explore.
We can go to recap.
Oh, good point. I got it all set up. Find it quickly.
Flower, power, moment's rest, shiny beast, hungry things, 4 palindromes, a moment's rest. They all had time to dine.
Not right here. Chapter 8. Little Dragon Tears.
Little dragon tears. Okay, so they go to Vegas probably for about a week.
That was... Yeah, they were there for a little while. They spent time there.
Too many questions, a couple sleeps there. Would you say this is about 2 weeks?
From the day they got married, yes.
Okay, that's still not enough.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, maybe it has something to do with something else that comes up in the book.
Is it later in this chapter?
It has
Or
to
this
do
book?
with Renner's biology mixing with somebody else. Because Renner isn't a normal person like us. He's closer to like a demigod than we are. Something happened in this merge that like gave them a little power of divinity. And that's why they can do what they can do. And that, not in the merge, in the
split.
Split, yeah. In the mitosis of it.
Yeah.
Because they weren't supposed to be boy and girl. They were supposed to be the same person. There's some mutation that happened. You know, and speaking in like biological terms.
Right.
They're a mutation, and so they have some extra effect.
Okay.
And that's why. Maybe that's why. Yeah.
I mean, and we could always say there's a lot of time that passes that we don't focus on.
I'm pretty sure you learn the name of the children in this book. Those children in her belly.
In her belly.
Yes.
In her womb.
In her belly.
It's not
her
in her
womb.
belly.
Yeah, but belly is cute and womb is gross.
Anatomically correct.
Anyway.
I'm just saying 2 weeks is not enough time.
Well, I'm saying there is something extra going on here too. So it could be that. I could just tell you off the mic.
That's fine. You can tell me later. It's not a big deal. I don't mind. I'm just saying.
It's in the last chapter. Which, by the way, is 2 chapters from now.
Wow.
It's the next one and the next one, and we're done. Wow.
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 It's gonna get done a lot quicker than I was hoping.
Why?
Because
Oh, you know how it ends.
I know how it ends, but
And it is not a pleasant ending. I'm sorry, but it's not.
we got to do the big recording of everything.
In fact, I think most of my stories are going to end in tragedy. Just so you guys know. I'm a very sad person. So my writing is going to show up very sad. So you'll see more tragedies than comedies with me.
Well, okay, there's a you can have a good ending and it still be sad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My next book is exactly that.
Yeah.
The ending is actually overall one of the best endings you could have in any story. In fact, I think Brandon Sanderson wrote something similar when he did
Mistborn.
Yeah. No.
Yes. Mistborn has a very sad ending, but it's
Is it the one where the guy becomes God in the end? Or that was Said? Said? Yeah. Is that Said? Is that the right book? Okay, yeah. Yeah.
So the Mistborn series, because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. I know it's been out for a long time, but you know.
It's really good, but that ending was not.
The ending was a happy, sad ending.
It was.
We'll talk about it.
And it's like it ended with The Road by Eli Roth. That is not. It's not a happy ending. It's a post-apocalyptic, coming out of the bunker kind of ending. There's little hope to me in that. Like there's a whole fresh society to start up, which they do because he wrote more books. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't. I'm never impressed with Brandon Sanderson's ending. We were talking about Mistborn.
We said that.
And I love his writing. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yes.
His endings just aren't my favorite. And I mean, people could say that about mine and I wouldn't be insulted.
Yeah.
Especially about this one. Sorry to say. But this is, I mean, there could be more. I could keep going with this. And in fact, Zig is here for another reason. And it's this whole book is about his mistake of losing a part of himself when he's supposed to be here to do the right thing.
Right. And
the right thing is still going to have to happen. So there is more coming. I just haven't figured it out yet.
Because even when they finish this, there's the whole purpose of him being here is not done.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he was here. Well, I don't know if we've gotten into why he's here. That comes in the next chapter.
Yeah, he kind of says why he was here. There was an event going to happen. He came to prevent it.
Yes. Yes. But it could be misunderstood that the event is Zig, but that's not what's going to happen. There's something else coming. And we'll get into it when we get into that, if we ever get into that book. But it will not be the next book because I do not have it written or have started writing it. And if you want to hear it, you got to say something in the comments. So let me know. I'd love to continue it, but I don't know. I'll leave it where it is for now. It's always going to be on the back burner.
All right, so
every book I do.
Really quickly, go back to the top.
Okay.
I kind of want to scan through it myself. Oh, wait. You're at chapter 11. You need to go back down to chapter...
You're right.
22.
I unlocked the wheel.
Whee! Okay.
Too far.
Way too far.
That's right here.
Yes.
Thank you for your patience as I scrolled.
Katie being pregnant, which is a
So the way it comes in, they're all standing around. Why are they forced? Oh, why are they all standing around? What have they just done? They successfully prevented the portals. So that's why they're around talking about. That's the events they're talking about. Okay, just in case, because you'll read the chapter before and then you'll read this and it'll make sense.
Yes.
And I do that a lot. That's how I kind of do it. But in the next book, I mean, I can spoil a little bit. I'm writing every chapter from one of the characters' perspectives, and it's on a cycle. So you kind of get into this rhythm of hearing from the different people in the party as you go. And I think it's really good. Mm-hmm. It's definitely not my best work, but that's yet to happen.
Other than some grammatical and punctuational issues.
Well, we actually corrected a few.
Wow.
That took me back up to chapter
11. And scrolling. I don't think that's what you wanted to do. Hey, wait. Go back up. Go back down.
No, it wasn't it. It was this one up here.
Nope.
No. Shoot! I unlocked the mouse wheel. What have I done? Okay.
Right there. Okay.
Computer problems. I apologize.
I was gonna say, the giggling told us the news. He told us you have news.
Is there any more stuff that they could say? I mean, this is. I think I did just fine, quite frankly.
To me, with Otto began laughing uproariously. To think I just saw you die. I feel like he had a little bit of that brown sugar mushroom.
Well, let's not talk about it. I don't think there's addictive properties to it.
I don't think so either.
It's more like...
I think because he had it
I think it's more like he's familiar with them, and so he'd be willing to say it, and he absentmindedly didn't realize Katie was there.
But no, the other thing is, too, with Otto, and began laughing uproariously, he had previous experiences with that, so he sees the benefits in laughing something serious off. So I feel like that, yeah, he's laughing at you. Think I just saw you die. Mm-hmm. Of course, you're gonna try to laugh that off instead of think of, oh gosh.
And then the whole thing that comes after it. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
He won't be doing that anymore.
Katie looked horrified at Izzi, who smiled, saying, "I saw it firsthand. He won't be doing that anymore."
They were just clones. I mean, it happened twice now. Clones are a real problem in my life.
what happened twice now?
Clones, his mom and himself.
Oh, yeah,
It's happened twice now. It's actually happening.
Yeah.
And both times they've been a real problem. Because, I mean, he got cut in half. I can't imagine that was fun. But it's a lot more fun than what Izzi was going through. I imagine it's a little bit of a thrill ride.
We'll catch you up. We'll catch you up, and you'll be safe here while we fix things down there. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. I had problems with that.
Yeah. And you can stay up here and be safe while we fix things down there. What? We'll catch you up. Putting her head on Katie's shoulder.
And then, like, break it up.
Yeah.
So it flows a little better.
We'll catch you up.
We'll catch you up.
You'll be up here safe.
Because that was because of the whole clones thing.
Yeah.
We'll catch you up.
Yeah.
You'll be safe here.
And Renner will have to take a back seat for a while. Because they want to protect their brother, too. Because he has... Yeah, but that's not the right Hannah.
Consarn it. Come back to me, H. Thank you.
Okay, scroll just a titch. Katie looked at them. I'm so happy he or she will have such awesome aunts. Are you kidding? Never in the history.
It says she or he, and it says she or he because she's hoping for a girl. Guess what she's gonna have?
I think I know what she's gonna have. I think I remember.
You wanna just guess?
Well, you kind of gave it away already.
It should be pretty obvious. I mean, if you guys don't realize it, look at the book. There's 2 sets of twins. What do you think there's gonna be? Comment below.
Are you kidding? Never in the history of mankind will a child have an aunt like us. This had them laughing and talking about the things that happened recently. Renner Otter found a spot to sit in. Okay, yeah. Half a mushroom. You're gonna have them both do it. No. She can't rest her head on Hannah. Oh, she's resting her.
Hannah puts her head on the shoulder, and so she says this and puts her head on Hannah's.
Okay, that makes more sense now. My brain was not processing that. Nothing made on Zig wants to harm a human. Drugs harm humans. I don't think this is a drug. I think it's courage. And I have some things that are hard to say. What if you say I have some things that are hard to say, and...
I don't know. I think that he just needs his brother to do it. He just needs his brother to laugh at the fact that he's gay and not take it so seriously. Mm-hmm. And just trust him that he knows what he's doing with his life and just let it go. And he does. He respects it. He loves his brother.
Interesting. There's nothing else.
Have been your whole life.
Have been your whole life. I love that part because it's like Renner was born first out of the 2 twin boys.
In fact, out of all 4, I think he was born first.
And
nanoseconds before Hannah.
And
or Izzi. No, Hannah. Hannah was first.
So he's just making a point that even before Otto was born, he felt this way.
Yeah.
Which is silly, but it's I love it. Renner opened his eyes wide. I think I see what's happening here. Then he let himself laugh a little before saying, our sister was tortured for 3 days by a nearly divine being because I rushed in first and got destroyed.
Is that fitting? Would that be hard to say? It would be hard for Renner to say. It'd be easy for me to say.
He's the leader.
I'd jump into that. I screwed up, man. Whatever.
He's the leader. He should be making wise decisions. He should be.
Which isn't what he did.
No, he just
jumped in.
He just jumped right in. And even though they knew it was a trap and knew that they were safe, he still jumped in.
And he still would have wanted to be there instead of Izzi.
Mm-hmm.
He did not want Izzi to be there. And it would have been him had Izzi jumped in first. Which, honestly, is what Izzi would have done. But Renner was the leader in the time, and he made a rash decision, and it hurt.
I absolutely love that Hannah is Saw the boys cover the last of their stifled giggles, and she saw right through it. Katie, watch this, she said, pointing at the boys. Izzi was tortured for 3 days. Renner and Otto collapsed to the floor in fits of laughter. That's just so funny.
Yes. Katie would be very confused.
Very confused.
And they wouldn't normally laugh.
No.
Because that's a hard thing to say.
But to see the two boys just absolutely...
And they tried to hide it, and Hannah took advantage of it. The anchor did it. On purpose, you know? She did the right thing. And it showed Katie what's going on. And honestly, in the end, Katie kind of wants that still. She wants to take advantage of it in the end. She wants to go take him up into the trees and talk to him.
Okay. Have a
take advantage of it, yeah.
Have a serious
quote unquote.
Yeah.
Where he doesn't take it so seriously, yeah.
Yeah. Would Izzi laugh in that moment too? I feel like it needs to be done.
I guess maybe rolling her eyes. She's not taking the mushroom. I don't think she's that kind of person.
You don't think she would laugh at?
I don't think anyone's
the boys laughing
at the
so
fact
hard about that.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. She knows what's up.
Yeah.
And the boys do too, but they're under the influence. Technically.
Uh-huh.
And it's just letting them talk. It's not doing anything else to their body. It is physiochemically safe. No one is hurt by the mushroom.
Yes.
By the non-drug.
By the non-drug. I think, okay. How, whenever you laugh about something, despite how silly, dumb, or how many times you've watched it, you laughing makes me laugh.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a common thing, yeah. But Izzi was tortured for 3 days. I mean, I don't know if she'd be laughing about it. It's more like she understands why they're laughing, and so it doesn't hurt her. Okay. And that's the point of the mushroom. That's the whole point. Okay. They're not laughing at her. They're laughing because they're influenced by the mushroom, but they are listening. Yeah. And that's the important part.
Yeah. I'm just curious if she would do anything to that effect, because...
Our little doggo just flicked her tail and made noises. It was cute.
She's wagging her tail in her sleep.
It's so cute.
Anywho.
I'll try and slip some footage in. Oh. And of course she stops.
Oh, she knows the camera is out.
I tried. Maybe I'll just send some pictures of a doggo.
It makes hard news.
Do some editing. Why would I do that?
It makes hard news easier to say, and they needed to talk.
I mean, she's right.
So...
That's kind of what's going on. And she's just helping Katie understand.
Uh-huh.
And that is probably what prompts Katie to say, then let's go up to the...
So with Katie say, oh, that's interesting. Well, it's late, and I miss sleeping in the canopy. Why don't you do that? To make it more clear that Katie is going to take advantage of the situation, that he won't take things as serious. Katie thought about it for a second.
It's late. I miss sleeping in the canopy.
You didn't like the idea of adding, that's interesting, or something to that effect?
Okay. I'm trying to think from her point of view.
Yeah.
About that.
In that case. Okay.
Yeah, that's her. She's like just a little bit as wordy as like Zig.
Hannah's getting that way. I can tell in her writing.
Yeah. She's talking a lot more, and a lot more of her words are bigger. Yeah.
Like, so when Hannah's seeing the boys, and she doing that joke, that's a little bit of old Hannah.
Yeah, like when she was with the snake.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then
the tragedy happened.
But then it goes, it makes hard news easier to say. They needed to talk. That's the new Hannah coming through.
Uh-huh. That's a little bit of Zig, a little bit of the higher thinking.
Yeah.
Having somebody else to think with you might be very helpful. But in the next couple of chapters, things are going to go a little nuts because there's only 2 left. And this ends. And Frizzig is not the villain at the end of this.
Mm-hmm.
He is... Something happens to him and he is taken out of the picture. And that's the end of the book. Just for clarification, the end of the story is... I mean, why would the story ever end? Write it yourself if you really want to. I don't mind. But... And I don't mean that in any kind of negative sense. I mean, if you want to take the time and write about it, I wouldn't be hurt. But I would like to see it. Or draw, or anything like that. I would love to see what you guys are seeing. But before we end,
Ooh.
perhaps we should do... What did you say, ooh-woo?
I said ooh.
Ooh-woo.
I did not go ooh.
Maybe you should.
Stop. It's recap time.
All right.
So... Oh, this is funny.
What's the first start?
Katie's
pregnant.
Katie has interesting news. Important news. That is rude.
Excuse me.
Yes. They tell the siblings. Otto has a... Oh, don't do that. Get rid of that. That's rude. Otto has a quote-unquote serious conversation with Renner.
You think gay is funny?
Oh, stop it.
I don't have any problem with homosexuality. I myself am not, and I am happy that others can be.
And then...
I have a loving wife. That's why I edit with her.
Yeah, that's straying farther and farther with all your stupidity. The end of the ist day. The end of the last day?
I think the next day is it.
Your next 2 chapters take place in one day?
Yeah.
Those are some long
They take place in a
days.
very small amount of time, actually. It all kind of just ends in the next 2 chapters, yeah. It's very fast. A lot of action. A lot of ending. A little bit of... Yeah. A little bit of the end. It's the last day of the story, not the last day of, like, their existence or anything.
No,
It's the last day of the story. The story
all gonna die.
will not show another day after this next one. Lots of people are going to die, actually. Lots of people.
Coda just wants everybody in his stories to be gone forever.
It's like I'm a serial killer that doesn't feel like killing real people. So I'm a writer, right?
Wow.
I mean, come on, look at George R. R. Martin. He got stupid famous on killing people.
Well, folks, how do you like that?
I don't have any sociopathic or psychopathic tendencies. Just a little mood swings.
He is a mood swing.
I am the mood swing.
All right.
I think that's it. Thank you all for listening.
Have a good day.
2 more chapters and it's over. Love you all.
Love you.
Like, comment, subscribe. Comment. I want to hear more about you guys.